All right, everybody, welcome to Diamond Zone. July, what is it, 6th? Wow. July 6th. As you know, we conduct Diamond Zone every day, Monday through Friday, at 7 a.m. Pacific time. And really for the sole purpose of really getting together and making sure everybody's head is right as they go out there and build their business with World Global Network. And what we do is just rotate different trainings from experience that a lot of us have had in the industry. As you know, my wife and I have 24 years in this industry. And, you know, I have a saying, and that is same circus, different clowns. And no matter what you do, right, you got the same type of objections that you may overcome. Because when you're dealing with people, right, you're dealing with their fears and doubts. And what we want to do here at Diamond Zone is make sure you all know you're not the crazy ones. Right? You're the ones that made a change, and we have to deal with the crazies. Now, when I say the crazies, take that the right way. It's people that just are stuck in their ways. People that have sometimes their head in the sand. People that are afraid of change. And the biggest issue when you deal with people is you have to deal with their problems. But here's the deal. If you want to become wealthy, the more problems you have, the more money you make. And you got to embrace that. And so now it's just a matter of going out there, right, and making sure you believe enough in your opportunity to talk to anybody, anywhere, anytime. And what I love about what World Global Network is doing is that we have a very simple system. Even if people don't want to do something, they will do what we're asking them to do. In other words, okay, think about our program. Okay, it's the worst. It's your worst day. Okay, and you have to do something with your World Global Network business. Okay, and all you really have to do is get that 2-minute video into people's hands. So even if you don't want to do it, you can do the program with World Global Network. Okay, if that makes any sense to you. Before, if I didn't want to do something in network marketing, I wouldn't do it. You know why? It required me going to someone's living room. It required me doing a hotel meeting. Okay, and so if I wasn't mentally right, okay, it was very hard to go out there and execute their program. And no matter what other company I was in. But here, even if I don't want to do it, I will still send out a text. So that's the beauty of what we have here. So before I get into my training today, guys, because as I always do, I just go off script, okay? I want to make sure you guys understand, obviously we have a new pay cycle that just started yesterday, but I want you to know the different events that we have going on. We will be in Minnesota, okay, here we go, boom. We will be in Minnesota August 3rd through 5th, and on Thursday, August 3rd, we're going to be doing a business overview. That's just a business opportunity briefing that you see every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday online. But we're going to be in Minnesota. That's a 2-hour event, and that's $10 at the door. Guests are free. And then we will be doing a social event on Friday. That will be announced. And then Saturday, we will be doing a Super Saturday at the DoubleTree by Hilton. We'll be teaming up with another president, Tanya Hagre, out there, along with Diamond, Shaylisa, and Tim, and our host, Christy and Jeff Brown. So we're out there. We got momentum. And whenever you have momentum, right, you want to feed that momentum. That's why we're now going to Minnesota to do a Super Saturday. So anybody, we always say, within a 500-mile radius should know about this event. I know we got people coming up from Chicago, from Wisconsin. So I know Shaylisa and Tim are coming in from Denver. So everything that we want to do, guys, is build towards these events. So you always want to look into your entire organization and see who you have in that area. Because what happens when people leave these types of events, right? They're reinvigorated, right? They go out there and they maybe want to execute the program. And so it gives us a better chance to develop leadership. So that's going to be on August 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And then we will be doing I kind of did this backwards, right? That's all right. No, that's not it. I like when people figure out, oh, look I could draw. Look ooh. Okay. Okay, then we have our event here in Orange County. Let me put this up. Where's Jeff? There's Jeff. All right. Where are we? Here we are. Here we are, Orange County. The OC World Global Network Experience, Saturday. Okay, this is obviously before Minnesota. July 22nd, all day from 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock at the Hilton Costa Mesa. That's a prime spot in Orange County. So that's an all-day Super Saturday. So go here to get your tickets. Anybody you have in this area, please make sure you're also promoting this event. And then today we should have the dates, not the dates, but the venue of where we're going to be in Florida. But we will be in Florida on August 10th through 12th. I think secured August 10th will be in Orlando. We'll be in Orlando August 10th, social event on the 11th, and then we will be in Fort Myers on the 12th. Now, all we're doing right now is securing the venues. We have like 2 different venues in each area, but we will be in Orlando the 10th and Fort Myers on the 12th. So just save the dates there. Everything else has been solidified. So those are the exciting events that we have coming up. What I'm going to talk about today, guys, is something I know everybody faces when they go out there and build their business. And that's a big problem everybody says is, well, how do I overcome objections? Right? Because let's face it, when you talk to people, right, people throw up the roadblocks. And this is what gets everybody so frustrated. Now, before I get into this, if you guys make sure you are on that corporate update call with Taylor Worry, okay? I'm so excited to have bridged the gap as far as communication. I believe now we're in great hands with Taylor, just going out there and making sure things are getting done. As you heard, the Infolio phone, the release date will be announced at the end of July. The release date will be announced at the end of July. Doesn't mean they're releasing it. They're going to announce it because they want to make sure when they bring out this phone, okay, it has all the bells and whistles and everything is working perfectly. So I think that's going to be a very exciting product for all of us. As you saw, we have the, let me put this up too. I mean, do you guys see what's going on with this this trial with the blood glucose? I mean, this is crazy stuff. I mean, I'm just like, are you kidding me? A trial? What does it say? Participate in the final phase of glucose clinical trial data. So glucose clinical trial. I mean, really? I mean, guys, you understand how big this is going to be for all of us? Do you understand the importance of building the base prior to this coming into your base? So there should be urgency here. Okay, I'm telling you, this is the talk of the industry. Okay, not only is it going to put a lot of money in our pockets, okay, but imagine what happens to the stock when this hits. So you talk about being at the right place at the right time. I mean, when you're talking to your family and friends, okay, this is what I'm talking about, expanding their vision, because people don't know what they're saying no to. So it's got to be your excitement, and you got to have all. I read as people write. Sorry, that's my ADD in me. Okay, so don't write to me. All right. So anyway, I think that's going to be huge, guys. For all of us as we go out there and build our business. So those are some of the things that are coming up. Remember, the new packages will be available July 11th. So my understanding is for people that are picking packages right now, they won't be delivered or won't be shipped because we're giving people the option to get the new packages. Okay, so don't let that stop you from putting people in. But those new packages, once again, talk about enhancements. I mean, and not really increasing the price except for the box set by $30, but they're getting now a whole box of bands. So more value, better company, new products coming out. It's just, it's crazy where we are. But I want you to think about where we will be by the end of the year. What are we, July? Okay, just think about 5 months from now. Think about 5 months of what could happen financially for all of you. And I was just thinking about this with Lisa the other day. Do you know Chad and Natita, okay, are really only 4 months ahead of us? Do you understand what happened to their income? Do you know their first check that they got with World Global Network was, how much was it, Jenna? $402. $402. Then they showed me the next week was about $470. And they started building and started building. You got to understand what happens in multi-level marketing. If you keep adding people, if your team continues to grow, all of a sudden, here comes momentum. And you could go from where you are, and I'm telling you, in a 5-month period, every single person listening to me right now, you could change your quality of life. Boom. But you got to understand the urgency, right? The urgency that you need to work with. We've been involved for what, 7 months? 7 months in the business, really? I mean, you understand what took us 6 years to do in our first company? 6 years we did here in 6 months. I'm going to say that again. The income we're earning right now took us 6 years to earn in our first company. We did this in 6 months here. We've never seen anything like this. But you have to respect it, and you got to take it seriously. Because I'm telling you, and you may think this is hypey, but doesn't really make a difference to me. Okay? But these types of opportunities do not come around very often. When you talk about all these different apps that are going to be introduced and all the things that we have been through already, see, nothing can phase our journey except what? Except you. The only thing that could stop your journey is you. And so what we want to do is make sure you're right, and making sure you believe in your opportunity, and then you could listen through other people's concerns. Just remember, when you talk to people, you're talking to your old self. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, if your head is now completely right and you're excited and you have the belief system, understand when you talk to other people, you're talking to people with disbelief, right? So what's the proper way of going out there and expressing your belief to other people? And that's what this training is. It's called listening through objections. Okay? Now, I don't know how many people on this call have sales experience, but I come from the sales field. Okay? Now, you all know my background, right? I spent 14 years, okay, with Bally Health Clubs. So that was a sales organization. And when I first got involved, this is where I learned the people business. Because the same objections people had with getting in shape and joining a health club was the exact same objections I hear when it comes to multi-level marketing and accepting an opportunity. The difference was when you have a traditional sales mentality, you're geared to overcome objections and close. I'm going to overcome your objection and I'm going to close you. That's traditional. Over here, here's my belief. You shouldn't have to close people. If I'm good enough to close you, I got to keep closing you. In other words, if I'm good enough to get somebody to buy a premium pack, right? Just because of my 24 years of experience, right? And I could extract $2,000 from you. and you really don't know why you did it, what happens? I have to call you the next day and close you again. And I got to call you the next day and close you again because you're really not sold. So what we want to do here is we want people to make the right decisions for themselves. So you got to listen through the objections. So let me show you the difference. When you're overcoming objections, you're deflecting the objection back on the person. It's a deflection. Well, what do you mean you got to ask your wife? If you think about it, why would you have to ask your wife if you want to get in shape? I used to do this. I used to sit down with the person and goes, well, you know, before I make this decision to buy this membership, Jeff, okay, I have to ask my wife. And I would say, well, wait a minute, hang on a second. Am I hearing this correctly? You're going to have to call your wife and say, honey, I'm thinking about getting in shape so I don't die at the age of 40 because I'm 55 pounds overweight. Is that okay with you? That's called deflecting the objection, right? You're making the people feel dumb about the objection they're giving you. That's a traditional way. Turn the objection back on the person. Prove the objection is false with reason and logic. I just did all that, did I not? So you make the person feel like, well, wait a minute, he's right. That's a traditional sales mentality. Over here, got to remember something. This is not a one-shot close. You're sponsoring somebody here. You're not recruiting, you're sponsoring. And I want you to know the difference. If I'm recruiting, that sends a message of next. I got you, next. I got you, next. Sponsoring means you're bringing people into a system and to a family, and you want to what? Mentor them. They have to want to do that. It's called championing the objection. Okay, listening through the objection. And I'll show you how we do that. So just remember, guys, when I bring somebody in that has all the attributes I'm looking for, I sponsor them. You got to be good sponsors. Why do you think we do these types of calls every single day? Because the people that are on here have made a decision to take the journey. And we want to sponsor them and show them all the things they have to do. Because we understand this business is a journey. This is not something that happens overnight. This is a business like any other business. Okay, now, when you listen through the objection, you want to actively help it be expressed fully. And I'm going to show you some of the objections, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to give you some examples today, okay, of all the different objections that you may hear. Okay, so understand, when you overcome the objections, okay, you're doing it three ways: with your attitude, your words, and your body language. Now, look at these objections on the screen. And you just tell me, isn't this what you hear when people are about to make a decision? Have I missed anything? I have no time. Oh my gosh, I can't do that family pack. I don't have any money. Well, you know what? I just can't sell. I'm uncomfortable with multi-level marketing. I have to ask my wife. Any other objections I missed that you hear all the time? Use your chat. I don't think I've missed much. Okay? I know. And I'm just telling you, regardless of what, when someone is making a decision, no matter what it is, multi-level, buying a car, buying a health club membership, whenever somebody is parting with their money to make a change in their life, these are the objections. Remember I said earlier, okay, pyramid scheme, okay, same thing. That's uncomfortable with multi-level marketing. Okay, that's what they're really saying. When they say they're uncomfortable with multi-level, I promise you in their brain it's pyramid. And I'm going to show you how to overcome these things or listen through the objections, because this is so important for you guys to all know. Remember, it's not you. I've been burned before, okay, and not interested in direct sales. That's uncomfortable with multi-level. That's all in that same realm. Here's what you got to do, and I'm getting off track now because I'm reading your chats. Okay. Here's how you have to do it. Oh, tell me about your experience in multi-level marketing. I don't say, well, that it's not a pyramid. And what do you mean you've been burned? You probably didn't do anything. I say very simply, if I get that type of concern, I don't call it objections, I call it a concern. Tell me about your experience, Mary, and let them talk. And what you're going to find out is, okay, what they're really saying has no merit. It was never really the objection. And I'm getting ahead of myself here. So let me go through this. Okay. If you're overcoming objections, your attitude is defensive. What do you mean you have no time? Of course you have time. What do you mean you have no money? If you don't have any money now, at the age of 40, after working 20 years, you're broke. See, this is defensive. Uncomfortable with multi-level. That's probably because you didn't do anything in your last company. What do you mean you got to ask your wife? That's defensive. Do you guys see the difference? Okay. Words, argumentative, combative. No, you're not going to win this way. You're not going to open people up. The whole idea is to open them up, because in a traditional business, once you make the sale, I normally don't have to see that person again. Right? When's the last time you saw the person that sold you the car? He sold the car, and now he's got his money. He doesn't have to see you again. Here, this is a relationship. This is not a one-stop shop. Okay, I'm not closing you on a premium pack. I want to know if you're going to warrant my time so I could sponsor you to show you how to change your financial situation. Why do you think we call this a family? Because I see you guys every day. I want to see you every day. I want to know who wants this. I'm trying to identify who has desire. That's who gets your time. So you don't have to close this. You don't want to ever be tense. And this is the traditional sales way. Okay, when you listen through the objection, let me show you the difference. You're easygoing. Right? When you hear all these objections, you're going to hear the objections. Don't act like you've never heard them before. Let me ask you all a question. Did you not come up with one of these objections when you were closed? Or when someone tried to get you? Or when you bought a car? Haven't you come up with these objections before? I find myself laughing at myself and go, well, let me think about it. I got to, my wife's the boss. I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I can't believe that just came out of my mouth. But see, all that means is what? Okay, what is it? It's fear and doubt. All it was is fear and doubt. But if you're easygoing, you open people up to find out really what's holding them back. Here's the best way to do it. And I'm going to say this a lot. I understand the way you feel. You want to write something down? Write that down. I have no time. Hey, I understand the way you feel. I get it. I was there. I know what it means to work 12, 14-hour days and have no time. See the difference? I'm not argumentative. I understand. Okay, I have no money. I understand the way you feel, Mary. I understand the way you feel, Mike. I get it. Okay, but let me share with you. Okay, this is not about spending money. This is about earning money. You see the different posture? Okay, I have to ask my wife, oh, I get it. I get it. I hear you. I understand, right? It's a relationship and you both want to be on the same page. Now, when you watch what happens, when you agree with the person and then they just then start opening up. And what you're going to find out is when you agree and you listen through the objections, at the end, it really never was an objection to begin with. They're just trying to throw you off your game. They're trying to find the chink in your armor. Because guys, remember the other voice? It's strong, right? That other voice is controlling them. That's where all this comes from, the other voice. All they know is all they know. And what they know is comfortable. What you're presenting a lot of times becomes uncomfortable. So whenever you're presented with the uncomfortable, what do? You protect. That's all concerns are. It's protecting them from making a change. Even though you know without a doubt, everybody on your list wants something that we offer, right? And the biggest frustration, tell me if I'm not right, is you know they need it, but they don't accept it. Okay, but weren't you that same person? I was. But what was I really fighting against? Change. But if I met somebody that went through the same changes I did, and they understand how I feel, right? And they could relate to me, it opens me up, okay, to maybe receiving more information. See, this is, and I'm giving you more. Obviously, guys, when you send out a 2-minute video, we always say the same thing, okay? We always say the same thing. It's either going to make sense or it's not. But I'm showing you now really how to take your business to another level by listening. Listening. See, overcoming objections, a lot of the times you're just talking. When you listen through the objections, the key word here is listening through the objections. Being relaxed. You're a consultant. You're like a psychiatrist, a psychologist, whatever you call that. Right? And what do? The person lays on the couch, and what does a psychiatrist do? Or I don't even know, is it psychiatrist or psychologist? I don't know. They're two different things, right? I don't know. Okay, all I know is I see the people laying on the couch, right? And the person's there with their notepad. You know what they always say? I understand the way you feel. Tell me where that came from. Well, let's go back, right? Don't they just listen? Right? That's you. Listen to where they're at. Agree with them. Understand where they're from. And you watch how they open up. And when they open up, it betters your chances for them to receive what you're offering. Okay? So what is your approach? In most cases, the new person's approach to objections is speechless babbling. Right? See, some of you are laughing. Why? Because that's you. Let me speak. Let me just talk. Let me tell you about the comp plan. Let me tell you how Hilo works. Let me tell you about this light. Let me tell you about this. Let me tell you. It has nothing to do with anything. They want to be heard. Don't be mad. Don't beat yourself up. Most people will just go through speechless babbling. You know what it is? See, look at 100% true. Because your belief isn't there. You just think you have to recite everything you've heard. Well, I heard that opportunity presentation, and you start talking about Fabio Galdi, right? And you start talking about how he founded the first touch screen. Then you start talking about how we're publicly traded. And you start going on. You go through the whole presentation, speechless babbling. They're not listening to you. Okay, they have nothing to do. It's nothing to do with it. Some of you are defensive, argumentative. Some of you are strong and overpowering. In most cases, if you take this approach, you lose 9 out of 10 times. You want to be confident and easygoing. Because listen, let me tell you how you should be confident. No one person is your opportunity. You have to take this posture. You're their opportunity. You're the one that has accepted the opportunity. So you have what they want, correct? So why would you ever be overpowering? You should be confident and easygoing because you know something they don't know. But to get them to want to know what you know, you got to bring them on your side. And the way you bring them on your side is to understand the way they feel. Because if you're talking to somebody that works 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day, don't you understand the way they feel? Why? Didn't you work 8 to 10, 12 hours a day? So understand where it all comes from. It's what they know. Okay, so there's a process of listening through objections. Number one, don't ever you buy the objection. If you buy into the objection, you've lost. It takes you off track. Never buy into what they're saying. And then I have distributors call me up and go, Jeff, they don't have any money. No, really, Jeff, really. They really don't have money. Then I'll do a 3-way call and I'll find out 2 weeks before that, right? They just took a 10-day trip to Hawaii. They have no money. Never buy into the objection, guys. Let me ask you, if someone really wants something, don't they find the money for it? If you really, really, really want something, nothing stops you. So you never buy into that stuff because the truth is it's not true. But you don't say this. You don't say, I'm not buying into your objection because the truth is it's not true. No, I'm telling you. Because some of you take this literally. Okay? Don't buy into what they're saying. If you believe them, you've already lost the battle because they've taken you off. And then you buy into them saying no to you. And I'm not saying if you go through this, everybody's going to get involved. But I'm telling you, everything that we do and all the tips we give you betters your chances to getting people to want what you have. Because if I look at myself, okay, I was really one of the worst people with objections. But where was it coming from? It was coming from the unknown. See, I had to really look at myself and go, where is this really coming from? Because I thought that there was something I had to learn here. Had nothing to do with it. Okay? When you listen through the objections, you know not only is the objection not true for you, it's not true for them either. Embrace it. I understand the way you feel. Tell me where that comes from. I understand that. Now, if you keep doing that, John, if you keep working 12, 14-hour days, what's going to change? And you do it through your story. See, when you understand the way you feel, then you insert, let me tell you why I understand. Okay, I worked those same hours. But I got to a certain point where I said, you know what? How long can I keep doing this? And so when I understood this opportunity, it allowed me to keep doing what I was doing. But yet, because I was involved with a group of people and a system I could leverage, okay, it took away my time objection. See, it's always a third-party story to get people to open up. But I want you to understand, no matter what objection you're hearing, it's not the truth. It's a protection. And the only way to bring that wall down is to get people to talk. Rule number 2, listen to what isn't being said. What is the truth? If someone's trying to take you off your game by saying, I have no time. Well, you know, first of all, it's not the truth, but what is the truth? What's not being said? What do you hear? I'm telling you what you hear is frustration, anger, disappointment, and fear. That's what you're dealing with. Okay, you got to keep understanding what you deal with every day is fear and doubt. Fear and doubt. For those people that were in Las Vegas, when I talked about the book, right, Outwitting the Devil, when the devil says, I control 98% of the people, you know how he controls 98% of the people? Fear and doubt. So now here you are, you're now part of the 2%. When you attack an objection head on, you're not someone to defend against. I should say, when you don't attack an objection head on. If you go head to head with people, like I said before, what do you mean you have no time? What do you mean you're uncomfortable at multi-level? Okay, you're not going to win that battle. But when you understand where they are and you get them to open up, like I said, it betters your chances. So the solution is number 3. After you listen, what's left? What's left? Most of the time, if you listen completely through the objection, there's nothing left. I can't tell you how many 3-way calls I have done in the past 2 months where the person will come right at me and I'll say that. I say, listen, I hear you, brother. See, my understanding the way they feel, okay, if I don't say that, I say, I hear you, brother. I got you. Oh, I know what you're saying. Okay, and by the time it comes around again, they don't even bring it up. By the time I tell my story, right after I listen to all their concerns, because that's what a 3-way call is a lot of times. I had a person hit me 4 different times yesterday, okay, about multi-level marketing companies who start up, they're not here again, here today, gone tomorrow, how he's lost money, okay, how he has no time, how his wife, he gave me everything. And I just listened. I just said, hey, brother, I know, I got it. And once I understood where he was coming from, and after I told my story, because that's all I ever do, I just tell people, and through my story, I'm overcoming the very concerns he just gave me. And that allowed him, right, to put his defenses down. And by the end of the call, not one of those things he brought up that he was so passionate about ever came up again. Never even came up again. And all I said at the end was, I didn't close him. I said, listen, are you open to receiving this information? Because here's what your next step is. I'm leading him to the next step. Okay, we're doing a call tonight at 6 o'clock. Okay, one of the people that is one of our top leaders, Dan Mays, is doing this call. If I sent you a link, would you be open to now listening to the information? I wasn't saying you're going to do this business. Receiving the information. He goes, yeah, I'll get on. Okay, that was it. But he came at me with a vengeance. Crazy. But easy going, understanding where he's coming from. Because I know after just listening to somebody for 5 minutes, guys, don't you understand where they're coming from? If someone says I work 12 hours a day, I travel all the time, I'm not being paid what I'm worth, these are the stuff I get out of people. I never see my wife. I can't go to my kids' games. Where do you think that's all coming from? It's frustration. It's anger. And this is what you deal with when you deal with people. But you know what? That person who's so passionate against it, if you get them over here, as much passion they were against it, when they come over here, they're just as passionate to make it work. I look for passionate people. I look for opinionated people. I like that. Some of us go away from those types of people. That's exactly the personality I'm looking for. I want someone that battles me. I want somebody that has desire. Isn't that what you're looking for? So when someone comes at you like this, that's a good thing. It's just how you handle it. That's all. And I go back to what I said earlier. I want you to look at you, okay, and some of the things that maybe you had said, and some of the reasons why you stayed with where you were at. And when you get this, okay, then it's much easier to talk to other people. But if there is anything still emotionally charged, you can handle it. If after I go through all those different things that he was so passionate about, let's say it came up at the end, I could handle that then. Okay, but it's going to be with less charge and emotion because I've listened through the objection. You follow me? So a process through listening through the objections. Embrace it. I told you how to embrace it. Love it. Make it exciting. Know where it's coming from. Look forward to it. Know it's coming your way, guys. Don't be shocked when someone says, I have no time. Don't be so shocked when someone says, I have no money, or I got to ask my wife. Why would you be shocked? Something's going to come up. Otherwise, that person wouldn't be where they're at. Does that make sense? So when you look forward to it, you got to know the answers to the test. I call it knowing the shot. A lot of you guys know that about me. It's called knowing the shot. It's an Italian term. You never open your mouth until you know what the shot is. You never open your mouth until you know what the shot is. What's the shot? What concern is going to come your way? That's the shot. What's this person going to come up with? And you handle it through your story. That's how you understand the way they feel. If I'm asking questions and I'm listening, and I know I could hear the anger because he works too much. I could hear the anger because he's not making enough money. I don't address it there. You know where I address it? In my story. And all I say at that point is, hey, John, I understand the way you feel. Can I tell you my story, John? I used to work 12, 14-hour days. I just addressed his shot. I never saw my family. I just addressed his shot. Okay, my wife and I were kind of coexisting. We didn't really know each other because I was always working. I just addressed his shot. And to add insult to injury, John, I had no money. I just addressed his shot. Did I not? I addressed it through my story. And now he's going, oh my gosh, I'm talking to someone just like me. Yes. But here's where I came to it, John. I said, wait a minute. If I keep doing the same things, and what I really loved was I could leverage a team of people that I respected and trusted. Now you see how I'm bringing down? Because I just addressed it, because I looked forward to it, because I listened. I listened. Write that down. Know what the shot is before you go into your speechless babbling. Ask the questions. Find out what you're dealing with here. Look forward to it. Take the time to let people know you care. I care. Okay, I really do, because I do, John, want to sponsor you. I don't want to recruit you, John. I want to sponsor you. Okay, be receptive to it. Let them express it emotionally. Ask the right questions. When you hit a hot button, stay on it. Well, tell me why you're so frustrated, John, about your job. Tell me about that career path. What did you do before that? What got you into what you do today? What is it you love about it? What don't you like about it? Okay, so you see some of these things, we don't take that step. But this is why I tell you to start with your warm market. Let me tell you why. You know what the shot is. With your warm market contacts, don't you know what the shot is? Don't you know their fears and doubts? Don't you know what they do? Don't you know where they live? Don't you know what frustrations they may have? Because you're close to them. So it's easy to then, right, share this with those people because you know what message to send. Once again, doesn't mean they're going to do it, but they're going to have a far more respect for what you're doing, and it'll be a seed that you planted in their head. Because when they see your consistency, when things get too out of hand, maybe then they might come back to you. Right? You guys stop writing. What are we, 7? Okay. If you come from I don't want to hear about this, you'll be thrown into being argumentative. I want to hear. I sincerely want to hear their frustrations. And I'm telling you what happens when people really are being heard. Man, it draws them close to you. You talk about how to instantly build rapport. Just try listening to people. People love to talk, guys. And here's my rule. Let them. Don't cut them off. Don't be that person who's not really listening. You're listening with the intent to talk. Don't be that person. Listen with the intent to really listen where their anger is and their frustration is. And then match the opportunity through your story to the people you're talking to. That's how you do it. You see, if you do that, you'll be able to define the objection. Okay, by doing what I just said. See, I got ahead of the training. By asking questions, giving them the opportunity to be specific about what they do or do not care for. Give me an objection. Just give me one. Well, I'm uncomfortable at multi-level. Well, John, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been involved before? Well, tell me about that. Tell me about that specific experience. How long were you with that company, John? Listen. Okay, now you understand, John, in that company, you had people, okay, that did very well. How long did you stay with that company? And you start asking questions. No matter what they do, I want to know specifically what they're talking about. Right? And when you do this, it opens them up. Let them be specific. Okay, take their side. I just told you how to do that. Taking their side is very simple. I understand the way you feel. I get it. I hear you, brother. I understand that. I was there. That's another way of being on their side. Because now you're not someone to defend against. Make sure you and your prospect are speaking the same language. Don't confront them. Don't, because they're going to dig deeper in. You're never going to win that battle. So this may start, guys, okay, this may start after they watch the 2-minute video. This may start prior to you sending them the 2-minute video. Because if they watch the 2-minute video, and let's just say they're intrigued, doesn't mean you're not going to have to still come back to this, because there's still that same person that was intrigued. Sometimes you can't take somebody from the 2-minute video, right, to buying a premium pack. Because now you got to take them through still their fear and doubt. All the 2-minute video did was intrigue them. Right? And sometimes you do this before the 2-minute video. Right? You understand? Because you're loosening them up. You got to understand where they're coming from. And this sometimes this is the stuff that betters your chances for people to call you back. You know why? Because they do remember you. They remembered you did listen. They remembered you did care. This is how some people get better results than others. Okay, now don't take this the wrong way. This is advanced training. I much rather you all just send out the 2-minute video and let the numbers be what the numbers are going to be than do nothing. I'm talking about how to get your numbers better. That's all. Why is it I would have to talk to less people than you and get better results? Why? Because I understand people. I set it up better than you. That's all. I've been in this game 24 years. So if I talk to 10 and you talk to 10, I'm going to get better results. That's not being arrogant. That's just a fact. Because I know how to set it up, and I'm telling you how to set it up. But in the beginning, what did I do? I just sent out the 2-minute video or whatever it was in whatever company. It was a numbers game until I got better in the people business. That's the business we're in. We're in the people business. Okay? So embellish the objection, champion it, help them tell their feelings, encourage them to come up with more about their objections. Sometimes I give them more fuel. Sometimes I'll try to, I'll one-up them. You think that's bad, John? Okay, you work 8 to 10 hours a day. I used to work 12 to 15-hour days. And to add insult to injury, John, you know that my superiors came to me and said, Jeff, I could replace you with somebody, okay, to get half your pay. I want to fuel that. So in other words, tell me more about what you don't like about what you do, John. I want that. I want to get them pissed. Sorry. I want to get them upset. Okay, I want them to know, I want them to look at their life and want to change it. Now it's like, okay, now I've opened them up. What time is it? Shoot, I just keep talking, huh? I'm speechless babbling. How about that? Empower the objection. Okay, step over the line between the two of you and take their side. I've gone much. Let the well run dry. Okay, and that's all it is. Okay, this is all same stuff. Okay, so number one, don't buy the objection. Number two, listen to what isn't being said. And number three, okay, the solution is what? Okay, the solution, okay, you become the solution. The solution does not become the 2-minute video. The solution isn't World Global Network. The solution is them buying into you first. And then I'm telling you, no matter what widget you're offering at that point, you become the opportunity. You're the opportunity. But in the beginning, we sell everything else. I sell Jeff. I sell my belief. I sell my excitement. And some of you need to now take that next step. And it comes with what? Belief. Belief in the results that you're getting. Okay? So go out there, and I'm just trying. Just be a psychiatrist. Just listen and ask those questions. See if it doesn't better your chances for people to want your information. Okay? So that's the training today. Love you guys. I got to go. See you tomorrow. Remember, Open Mic Friday. Open Mic Friday. I want people to be able to share. We want new people sharing. Okay? Not just Caitlin, Shay Lisa, okay, Dawn Marie. Okay? Get out there. Step out of your comfort zone. Tell us your story. Okay? I might even unmute people and start interviewing them. Okay? Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll be the Howard Stern tomorrow. Okay? Okay? So anyway, you guys, thank you. Appreciate you. Talk to you soon.